you, and thank you, everyone. Welcome to the Calvin Dean Show. My name is Calvin Dean. Week 7 is upon us, guys. 7. Wow, and did we have a great week last week? Exciting games, guys. Exciting games. I mean, the Chiefs beating the Broncos, the Ravens beating the Titans, the Commanders pulling it out in Atlanta, and Ritter suffering his first loss for Atlanta at home, and he looked like the old self of Ritter. He didn't look like he did the week before. And that's what these quarterbacks, these young stud quarterbacks, they need to have, sort of like Justin Fields, he's just amazing talent, but he only comes out once or twice a year, I mean, you know what I mean. And the Bears beaten by the Minnesota Vikings, who still kind of have it. I mean, you're going against Kirk Cousins. He's no schmuck, but no Jefferson, right? And then you have the Bengals beating the Seahawks in Cincinnati, barely, 17-13. And, just the Bengals defense is looking much better these days, much better. And then you have the Browns beating the Niners, 19-17. All you Brock Purdy haters or lovers, whatever you guys want to do. And a lot of guys, are down on Brock Purdy. Oh, he's just a game manager, yada, yada. Guys, last week, 11-play drive. Sort of Montana-esque. Joe Montana. And, seriously, maybe even Brady-esque. Brings a team down, 11-play drive, ready to win the game, and the kicker misses a field goal of 41 yards. It wasn't like it's 55 yards or 57 yards or even 49 yards. 41 yards, guys. 41 yards. Misses it. Wow. And the Cleveland Browns win. But hats off to the Cleveland Browns too, guys. Playing without their starting quarterback, starting running back. So give it up to them. Well, the Niners, too. The Niners weren't playing. McCaffrey went down. Deebo Samuels went down. Trent Williams went down. Trent Williams came back. He rolled his ankle. He came back into play and finished out the game. Deebo Samuels did not come back. Well, he did for a little bit, and Christian McCaffrey did not come back. They are all questionable for this game 7. Kyle Shanahan's telling everyone that it's not a long-term thing, their injuries, so that's good for the 49ers. But hey, they have to figure it out, well, they did figure it out, really. They really, I mean, in the eyes of myself, they won. They really, they brought the team down, and the kicker lost it with a missed field goal. Embarrassing, that's for sure. And I bet you all you Robbie Gold fans are like going, see, you should have kept Robbie. Robbie would have gotten it. He probably would have. He was automatic. And then you have the Saints and the Texans, beating the Saints, guys, in Texas, 20-13. They're not schmucks. I'll tell you, the Houston Texans are all that. They are. And then you had the Jags over the Colts. I predicted that one. And then the Dolphins over the Panthers. But hey, that was a good game, wasn't it? I mean, the Panthers leading the Dolphins 14-0 in the first quarter. And then the Dolphins just came back. Come on. Yeah, great team. And then you have the Raiders beating the Patriots, which I predicted, in Las Vegas. And then the Lions beating the Buccaneers. I predicted that one. It's pretty easy. The Rams over the Cardinals. That was an easy pick. But the next pick, man, the Jets over the Eagles. Wow. Huh? The Jets beating the Eagles. Interesting. And they held them to 14 points. So the Jets' defense is getting back. And their offense is starting to look better, right? And then you have the Bills over the Giants, the New York Football Giants, but 14-9. Something's up with the Bills, guys. I don't know what it is. They're just not clicking. And then you have the Cowboys beating the Chargers on Monday Night Football. And that was interesting as well. I mean, the Cowboys pulled it out, right? Cowboys pulled it out in SoFi Stadium. Something about those Chargers, guys. I don't know what's going on with them, man. I just don't know, they don't look right. They just don't look right.
One of the best
sorry about that, guys. Yes, yeah. Thank you for laughing at me. It's early in the morning. I'm sipping on coffee. I'm loving life large. Thursday morning, I love it, man. And then we have Thursday Night Football tonight. We have the Jacksonville Jags going into New Orleans. Now you're thinking Jacksonville's hot. But guess what? Trevor Lawrence went out last week, right near the end of the game, and he hurt his knee. Yep, he hurt his knee. And, oh, wow, this will be a test for the Jacksonville Jags, because you got to figure, look at their, the offense of the Saints are 17th, the offense of the Jags are 12th, right? The defense of the Jags are 23rd, the Saints are 6th, Saints defense, it's all about the defense. And then the passing on the Jags are 10th, but the passing on the Saints are 13th. And then rushing is 15th on the Jags and 21st on the Saints. And, the Saints did lose last week. The last time these two played, the New Orleans Saints won in 2021, which is a couple of years ago, right? And they won 23-21. So, now, you got to figure, the Jags are on a roll. But it's just not it's just not Trevor Lawrence hurt, right? It isn't. It's they have some linemen hurt, offensive linemen. So it's going to be a great game, that's for sure. But I don't know. It's not going to be a blowout. They're 4-2, and the Saints are 3-3, right? I don't see a blowout, that's for sure. And on the other hand, the New Orleans Saints are in the same boat. Their offensive line is hurting as well. So, and then Derek Carr's shoulder, So, man, it's gonna be an ugly game because the Saints are very, very good in defense, and then the Saints aren't the best on offense as well. They haven't been clicking. They are at home. The Jacksonville Jags are playing well. They do have a lot of talent, that Jacksonville Jags team. I just think 2 weeks in London and last week with Trevor Lawrence going down, they're a young team still. They do have a great coach. Peterson's great coach. And the Saints, they do have a team that is trying to gel. Their defense has been with each other for a long time, right? But their offense hasn't. They have some good weapons. Kamara, Aklev, Derek Carr. I would just like to see them gel better. I just would. And so, guys, let's just give it up. I'm going to give this one up to the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. They're going to beat the Jacksonville Jags. Wow, that's going to be a great game. Great game, guys. Great game. And, man, I think the New Orleans Saints are favored by only a point. Yeah, that's for sure. The New Orleans Saints are giving away 2 points, guys. 2 points. They are favored in New Orleans. And, yeah, wow. And then we have the next game would be the Lions and the Ravens. Wow, now that's going to be a game, a 10 a.m. game, guys. They're playing it in Baltimore, and this is the surprising thing. They're giving Baltimore actual favorites by 3 points. Baltimore's favored in this game by 3 points. I know it's at home, but the Lions are 5-1, guys. 5-1, and they're really, really, really good. I know they're without Montgomery. Their backfield is questionable. But, in all reality, guys, they look great. They're 5-1. I'm just so excited to see the Lions play. Their offense is ranked third in the National Football League. Third, guys. The Ravens' offense is 10th, right? Their defense is ranked 10th, which is the Lions' defense, and the Ravens is ranked second now. Second. The passing for the Ravens, 21st. The passing for the Lions, 4th. The rushing, 7th for the Lions, and 4th for the Ravens. And once again, Raven fans, don't hate me, but once again, their offense is gearing around who? Well, don't you think it should gear around Mr. Lamar Jackson? He did get the big contract and everything, yet wasn't the reason why they got a new offensive coordinator, they wanted to turn it around, bring in some passing and all that good stuff, right? But if you look at it, right, I don't know, every time I look at it, it seems like I'm watching the Ravens of old, of last year and the year before. I don't know. And Odell Beckham, $15 million. For what? For what, guys? He can't get off the line. He looks slow. He hasn't had any separation. Him and Lamar haven't gelled. They have one person who I predicted was going to be one of the best wideouts to come out of the draft was Zay Flowers. I predicted it, guys. I predicted it. And, of course, he is just lighting it up. The kid is spectacular. Spectacular. And I think that's probably the reason why Odell Beckham hasn't been doing so well is because the young buck, Zay Flowers, is getting open because he's fast. He's I think he's sort of he has a little cheetah in him, the way he moves really, really quickly and go back and forth, his moves and his speed. So, I'm telling you something, Zay Flowers looks really, really good. And, but then you have the Ravens offense. This is going to be a hard game to call, really. I think the Lions are playing a better game. I think they're just a better team. I think, but they do have missing Montgomery. They don't know who's going to be starting on even Reynolds, Raymond Reynolds on the Lions. Excuse me, another running back. He's been hurt as well, so there's a lot of question marks. But the Ravens are used to playing hurt. And they did win last week, right? And they beat the Titans. They beat King Henry in London. Did you see those posters of King Henry, with his crown and stuff? I love those people in London. They just get into the games. It's so much fun. They're all wearing all their different jerseys and stuff. It's just, it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch. I just really enjoy the London games. I don't enjoy calling them because it's up in the air all the time. And by the way, Thursday morning, guys, what's going on right now? I'm sipping coffee. Oh, yeah. Love that first cup of coffee in the morning. Just love it, love it, love it. Hope you all are enjoying your coffee as well, or whatever, whenever you're listening to this podcast, and hopefully you're enjoying it, that's for sure. Well, went over the first game, and man, and gave it up to the Saints. They're favored by 2 points. The Ravens favored by 3 points. I love players. I don't have a favorite team, but I do love players. And one of my favorite players is Lamar Jackson. It's so hard to go against him. You never know. But I think the Lions are too good. But obviously, listen. Hey, look what happened last week. Think about this one, guys. The Philadelphia Eagles played the New York Jets, right? They lose, right? The San Francisco 49ers play who? The Cleveland Browns. They lose. Well, Cleveland's an AFC team. Jets are an AFC team. The Ravens are an AFC team. The Lions are 5-1. This is going to be a test for the Lions. A test. The Ravens are giving them 3 points. Man, I think it's going to be close. I think it should be very close. I think Justin Tucker's going to win it in the end for the Ravens. Right? I'm giving this one up to the Ravens over the Lions in Baltimore. We have the next game is the Raiders going into Chi-Town, Chicago, getting beat by the Minnesota Vikings last week. Oof. Wow. I mean, and guess what, guys? Justin Fields has hurt his throwing hand and his thumb. He's very, very doubtful. I mean, you look at the offenses, and the offense of the Raiders is 22nd. The offense for the Bears is 16th. The defense, this is where it comes to play with this game. Defense 14th for the Raiders. Now, if the Bears, if Justin Fields is in play, it's easier for the Raiders, right? They don't have to worry about him running around. And then the defense for the Bears, 27th. Passing for the Raiders with Jimmy G. Now, that's another thing. Jimmy G is back. He's doubtful. That's ugly, guys. Their passing is 12th, and the Bears are 24th. But here you go. The rushing, 6th for the Bears, and now the rushing for the Raiders are 28th. But the Raiders are getting a little bit better. The last time these teams met was in 2021. The Bears beat them at home in the Raiders. I think that was in Oakland in the 2021. And the Bears beat the Raiders 20-9. 20-9. And they're at home this one too, And if you look at the odds, guys, the odds on this game is going to be interesting because, I mean, really, come on, really. I don't think, only reason why I look at the odds now is because last year I called a couple upsets. I thought they were upsets in my eyes, but I don't look at the odds, or anything like that. And it turned out to be they weren't upsets. That's the reason why I look at the odds. The Bears are not favored in this game, that's for sure. The Raiders are favored by 3 points. They should be, on paper. Justin Fields has a go in this game, and he's hurt. I'm giving this one up to the Las Vegas Raiders. That's for sure, Las Vegas Raiders. So I have the Saints to beat the Jags, the Ravens to beat the Lions, and the Raiders to beat the Bears. And then we have the next game. We have the Cleveland Browns coming off their victory with the San Francisco 49ers. Congratulations to the Browns. Guys, congratulations to the Browns. I have to give it up to him. The reason why I have to give it up to him is because on YouTube I called it lucky, that they won, and some guys I commented, and then people are commenting back at me, oh, blah, 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 and you consider every team that wins lucky, that's the way it is with you? And I said, no, actually, that's not the way it is with me. Not at all. I just call it like I see it. And, if you don't like it, oh, well, but that's, look, on all reality, think about it. The Cleveland Browns played one hell of a game against a juggernaut team, a team that lost 3 players. The best left tackle in the game, Trent Williams, goes down, comes back into the game, taped up, right? Deebo Samuel's one of the most prolific wideouts, slot receivers out there. I mean, the guy is like a running back, wide receiver, running back. And Mr. MVP of the league, Mr. Christian McCaffrey, goes down and doesn't come back, right? And then, but on the other side, you don't have Deshaun Watson. Now, that's the whole thing with Deshaun Watson. I don't think he's all that and then some. I don't see, he's not the Deshaun Watson of the old. That's for sure. I don't know if he'll ever get back to that, I think that, and then Nick Chubb, he's gone, but they do have a couple running. Ford is a good running back, Nick Chubb's one of the best running backs out there, right? But their defenses are awesome. Defense is awesome. Congratulations to the Cleveland Browns, that's for sure. Congratulations. Did you get lucky? Kind of. I mean, Brock Purdy, and that's the whole thing. These Brock Purdy people who are like, oh, he's just a game manager. Guys, he was Montana-esque at the end of this game. Montana-esque. Drove his team with 11-play drive to win the game. Sets up a 41-yard field goal. 41-yard field goal, right, guys? And Moody shanks it to the right. I mean, just heartbreaking, that's for sure. I mean, they should be 6-0. They really should be 6-0. Was Cleveland lucky? Yes, they were lucky at the end of the game. But were they lucky that they actually won? Not really. They in all retrospect, no, they weren't lucky that they won because they played one heck of a game. At the end, they were lucky because the San Francisco 49ers really should be 6-0. Now, that's another thing. You compare the Niners' loss to the Philadelphia Eagles' loss. There you go. Eagles lost because they got beat, right? 20-14. They got beat. But the San Francisco 49ers loss is because they lost in a field goal. Think about it. They would have won. They should be 6-0. So, hello. That's just don't like honesty. That's honesty. Come on, guys. That's real honesty. So we have the Cleveland Browns, off their win. Going into Indianapolis, playing the 3-3 Colts, 3-2 Browns. Look at the offense of the Browns. 27th offense. But their defense is number 1 in the league. Number 1. The Colts offense is 9th, guys. 9th. That's pretty good. Because their passing's 9th. Gardner Minshew. I mean, I don't know how much of the 9th. I think it's more. And then, Richardson. Yes. Their first pick, first round of the draft. Anthony Richardson. He's getting an operation. He will be out for the season. So Gardner Minshew is definitely going to be there. You have Taylor back. Zach Moss. They look good. Minshew, he's no schmuck. He is a second-string quarterback, but he's led his teams to victories. So this is not such a terrible, hard game. And it's in Indianapolis. But that defense of the Browns is just so good. So good. But their passing on the Browns is 32nd. That's ugly. Deshaun Watson, who knows when he's going to come back. I don't know about him. And then the last time these guys played was 2020 during COVID. The Browns won 32-23. And then their rushing for the Browns is 8th. Even without Nick Chubb, it's 8th. And 14th for the Colts. So, Zach Moss has been really, really good, filling in great for that team. And we have the morning line odds on this game. We have the Browns giving up 2.5 points. So going into Indianapolis getting beat by the Baltimore Ravens last week. The Titans. Baltimore beat the Titans. But anyway, the Colts at home, the Browns. I have to give this one up to the Colts on an upset. I'm going to give this one up to the Colts over the Browns at home. It's going to be a low-scoring game. The next game we have the Buffalo Bills going into New England, playing the New England Patriots at 1-5. There's a lot of talk out there. Bill Belichick, a lot of talk. Is this his last season? Is he going to get fired? Is he going to step down? They just don't have a team, guys. They have a lot of young players playing. Mac Jones is still young, but you have to have weapons around it. It's all about drafting and picking guys, and they just haven't been doing it. And no one's stepping up. Their rushing attack is 26th. Their offense is 24th in the NFL. Compared to the Buffalo Bills is 5th, and the Bills defense is 15th. The Patriots is 13th. There you go. The passing of the Bills is 7th. The passing for the Patriots is 19th. And the rushing for the Bills is getting better, 12th. Wow. They're getting better. Now, you're not going to see. Now, that's another thing is that who's question mark? Josh Allen is a question mark for this game. He's a question mark. He was hurt. Now he's saying he's going to play. So I got to believe him that he's, in his word. The last time these guys played was last January. Buffalo beat them 35-23 in Buffalo. But this is in Foxborough, and New England 1-5, and the Buffalo Bills have not been playing good. They just haven't, Buffalo's favored by 8.5 points. Man, I'd take that in a heartbeat. 8.5 points. I really would. I don't think. I think Bill will shut down. He always shut down. The top player, right? The top player would be Stephon Diggs. So if you are a fantasy football player, I would probably start Gabe Davis. I think Gabe Davis is going to have a huge game because they're going to try to take Stephon Diggs out of the game. You know what I mean? So got to watch that guy. So Gabe Davis would be a great play. That would be a great play. That's for sure. This game, I'm giving it up to the Buffalo Bills. I think they're going to lose in the points. I don't think they're going to cover the 8.5 points. That's a great bet, guys. I just don't see them beating the way they've been playing as of late. Now the Patriots aren't that good, but Bill Belichick, he's like that wounded animal, and his back is up against the wall. So watch yourself, guys. Watch yourself on that game. That's for sure. Now we have the next game. We have the Commanders going into the Giants. Giants, they're looking better, so to speak. They're 1-5. They played good last week, but both teams, it's like ugly. Looking at their stats, ugly. Offense, 20th for the Commanders, 28th for the Giants. Right? Defense for the Commanders, 31st. Defense for the Giants, 29th. This is ugly meeting ugly. The passing for the Commanders, 15th. The passing for the Giants, 28th. 24th in rushing for the Commanders, 19th rushing for the Giants. And the only reason why they're 19th, the Giants, is because of Daniel Jones. Will Daniel Jones be playing this game? I don't think so. Wow. Tyrod Taylor, he did look good. He made that one blunder, but he did look good. The last time these guys met, it was last year. Giants beat them 20-19. It was last December. 2022, last December, yes. This game, the Commanders, Commanders are just, I think they're a better team. And I know they're in New York, 1-5 New York. Sometimes New York comes alive. Sometimes they come alive and they play well. Do they have the talent? I think the Commanders have the talent, more talent. I think the Commanders' defense need to really step up. And Saquon Barkley is back, not in full strength. I don't think he's 100%, but he is back. And but I don't know about Daniel Jones. Tyrod Taylor's in for him. I'm going to give this one up to the Commanders over the Giants in East Rutherford, New Jersey. I have the next game. We have the Falcons going into Baker Mayfield territory. Yes, Tampa Bay. Ooh. Baker looking great, guys. Baker looking great. I hope everyone's enjoying a nice cup of coffee listening to this. I really have. I enjoy my Thursday mornings. And, you have the 14th ranked offense, right, of the Falcons. 30th ranked offense of the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield, hello. I don't know. You have the defenses. This is a defensive game. You have the third-ranked defense of the Buccaneers and the fifth-ranked defense of the Atlanta Falcons. Pretty good. Like I said last year, like I said the year before, the Buccaneers, their rushing is just terrible. They're 32nd. Guys, there's 32 teams in the league. 32 teams. They're 32nd. Terrible. Terrible. They're in Tampa Bay. They are in Tampa Bay, that's for sure, and you have to give it up to that. That's for sure. They are favored too. They are favored, guys. I mean, literally, there's no way. I mean, they're favored to win. The Tampa Bay Bucks. Wow, that's interesting. Odds makers, that's the reason why sometimes I don't understand the odd makers. I think Atlanta's a better team. They're in Tampa Bay. I think Baker Mayfield will pull this one out and beat the Atlanta Falcons in Tampa Bay. We have the next game. We have the Rams playing at home against the Steelers. Now, these teams, they haven't played in 30 years, these two teams. No. They have not played in 30 years. You have the Steelers 3-2 and the Rams 3-3. This is going to be a great game to watch. It's going to be interesting. I mean, in all reality, Rams are favored by 3 points. They have Cooper Kupp back, Pakua, the offense of the Steelers. It's terrible. I mean, terrible. 32nd. Rushing's 31st. Passing's 31st. Terrible. I mean, I don't get it. And offense for the Rams is 7th. Passing is 5th. defenses. Oh, they got a defense. The Steelers people. Oh, they got a defense. 16th. Defense for the Rams, 18th. 17th rushing for the Rams. Now, Williams is hurt. I believe the rookie Evans is going to be playing starting role for the Rams. But they do have a great offense in Cooper Kupp. Just Cooper Kupp's so good. Matthew Stafford and him are just like gel. They gel. They gel. And literally, guys, the last time these two teams played was 2019. November of 2019. I guess that's not 30 years, right? And the Pittsburgh Steelers beat them November 10th. Oh, I know. The last time the Pittsburgh Steelers were in Los Angeles, playing them in Los Angeles, right? And was a long time ago. Pittsburgh coming into Los Angeles. That's what it was. Anyway, I just don't see the Steelers winning this game. I'm giving it up to the Rams in SoFi Stadium. Congratulations, Rams. Very surprising. Very surprising that they're 3-3 right now. I think they're proving everyone wrong. And the Steelers are 3-2 at the end of this game. 3-3. Steelers still in it, guys. You have the Cardinals going into Seattle. That's going to be a tough game for the Cardinals. It's going to be a tough game. They're 1-5. They're playing their hats. They're playing their heads off. They really are. Seattle looked terrible last week. Terrible in their loss. And but their defensive Seattle's 7th. The defense for the Arizona Cardinals are 30th. The offense for the Cardinals, 13th. Dobbs. Wow, It's all about that rushing attack, and they don't have the rushing attack anymore, and that's what happened last week when they lost. Their rushing Connors is out, so they're 5th, and the Seahawks are 25th. They're at home, Seattle. You have the 12th man. They just had a little special on the NFL this weekend on which stadiums are the loudest. And it was like between Kansas City and Seattle, and it's Seattle. It's literally the loudest stadium in the world. So I just don't see the Cardinals beating the Seattle Seahawks, giving it up to the Seattle Seahawks. The next game, we have the Denver Broncos hosting the Packers. Interesting game. 1-5, 2-3. The offense for the Packers is 31st. 31st, guys. 31st. Wow. When have you ever heard? It has been a very, very long time that the Packers offense is 31st out of 32 teams in the National Football League. I haven't heard that in a long while. The Broncos is 18th, so they're a little bit better, middle of the road, but then this is where it gets to be tricky for the Broncos. Their defense is 32nd last in the NFL. The defense for the Packers are 8th. The passing for the Packers are 29th. Jordan Love. Passing for the Broncos are 18th. So Russell Wilson. And then the rushing, 18th for the Broncos, 30th for the Green Bay Packers. 1-5. Denver Broncos at home. Jordan Love. This is one of those games that it's going to be an ugly one. It's going to be an ugly game to watch. Just because of the magnitude of Russell Wilson and the young buck Jordan Love. Aaron Jones has come back, but he hasn't been come back. He's not at full strength 100%. I think he's going to do well this game. The Broncos, the Packers are favored by 1 point. 1 point, guys. 1 point. So, I'm definitely going to give this one up too. The Denver Broncos, yes, the Denver Broncos to beat the Green Bay Packers in Denver. Yes, sorry, Packer fans. I think the Broncos are going to beat you over the Packers. We have the next game. This is an interesting game. We have a 2-3 Chargers going against the 5-1 Chiefs. Now, remember the last time these two teams met? Remember that was Haber, I believe, he had hurt his ribs, and it was such an exciting game, and the Kansas City Chiefs won 30-27. It was last November, I think. Was it like November 20th or something like that? What a great game that was. And you look at both teams. The Chiefs are 4th in offense, 9th in defense, passing is 2nd, and rushing is 11th. Chargers, 19th offense, 17th defense, 14th passing, and 23rd rushing. Wow. Eckler's back. That's a thing. Chargers really need to win this game. Chargers really, really need to win this game. And they just seem, they're in Kansas City. I don't know about the Chargers. They looked flat last week, of course. They should have won. They didn't. And then the Chiefs. They're just winning ugly. This is going to be another ugly win by the Kansas City Chiefs over to the Los Angeles Chargers in Kansas City, giving it up to the Kansas City Chiefs. This next game is going to be a juggernaut game. Juggernaut against juggernaut. The Miami Dolphins against the Philadelphia Eagles. Both 5-1 teams. Both 5-1 teams, guys. Wow. If you look at this, the number 1 offense against the number 2 offense. The Dolphins against the Eagles. Wow. The defense on the Eagles is 12th. The defense for the Miami Dolphins, 22nd. Get that, put that in your head. 22nd. 12th. The passing for the Eagles are 8th. The passing for the Miami Dolphins, 1 for rushing, and 2 for rushing for the Eagles. So, virtually, they're passing. The Eagles are right behind them. They're 8th. Top 10. But the Dolphins, number 1. Cheetah, you have Waddle, you have Mozart, you have Wilson's going to be back in the backfield this weekend. He's coming off of IR. And they're just the Eagles. I think the Eagles are a very, very good team, and the Dolphins are a very, very good team. This is going to be an amazing game, And guess what, guys? This is Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football, guys. This is going to be such a fun game to watch. And you just like to say Sunday Night Football. I don't know why I like that so much, but I do. It's good to laugh at myself. I love that. So, the Dolphins going into... I don't know how... Let's see. Give me a second. Let me look at the weather. Well, I just checked with Siri, and the weather is going to be possibly in the high 40s, cloudy, and once again, I asked Siri what the weather is going to be like, and the wind, there's going to be no wind. Wow, this is going to be a fun game to watch. I just, the Miami Dolphins are not favored. The Eagles are favored by 2.5 points in Philadelphia. Philly just haven't looked right. They just haven't looked right. I just don't see the Dolphins looked great. They are an AFC team. The Eagles coming off their first loss of the year last weekend against a very, very good defensive team. The Dolphins aren't a very good defensive team. I think this is going to be a shootout. I think the Eagles' defense are going to come through. I think they're going to rush the passer. I think they're going to keep Tua on his back. I think there's going to be a lot of blitzing. And I'm giving this one up to the Eagles over the Dolphins in Philadelphia on Sunday Night Football. Last game, guys. The 49ers, yes, the San Francisco 49ers, the 5-1 San Francisco 49ers, could have been 6-0 if the kicker kicks a field goal. Anyway, it just bothers me. I don't know why. I don't have a favorite team, but when a team loses like that, they should have won. It kind of sticks in my craw. That's for sure. Last time these two meet was 2022, August of. So obviously that was they've never played before. They haven't. The last time they met was in preseason. San Francisco won, but come on, preseason, guys, preseason. You can't judge on preseason, can we? Anyway, you have a 6th ranked offense against an 11th ranked offense. You have a defense of the Niners now 4th against the 19th ranked defense of the Vikings. You have 11th ranked passing for the Niners, 3rd ranked passing for the Vikings. But remember, Mr. Jefferson's out. You have the 3rd ranked rushing attack for the Niners, third, and the 27th for the Vikings. This is going to be a fun game to watch. The Niners are favored by 7 points. 7 points, guys. And this is my lock of the week. The San Francisco 49ers are going to come back into town, They're going to beat up on the Minnesota Vikings. They're going to be 6-1 at the end of this game. I'm giving this one up to the San Francisco 49ers. That's for sure. And guys, it's been fun. This is week 7, guys, and my actual upset special. My upset special this week is the Indianapolis Colts. Yes, the Indianapolis Colts to beat the Cleveland Browns in Indianapolis. That is my upset special. So then let's just go over a quick rundown of my picks. Tonight's game, giving it up to the New Orleans Saints. The next game, I'm giving it up to the Las Vegas Raiders over the Chicago Bears. I'm giving the Tampa Bay Bucks to beat the Atlanta Falcons in Tampa Bay. I'm giving the Ravens to beat the Detroit Lions in Detroit. In Baltimore. Excuse me, guys. And then I have my upset special, Indianapolis Colts. And then I have the Buffalo Bills over the Patriots. I have the Commanders over the Giants, the Rams over the Steelers, the Seahawks over the Arizona Cardinals, the Denver Broncos. Yes, the Denver Broncos to beat the Green Bay Packers in Denver. Which I guess is a minor upset, right? And then the Kansas City Chiefs to beat up on the Los Angeles Chargers. Eagles over the Miami Dolphins. Yes, the Eagles over the Miami Dolphins. And the San Francisco 49ers, my lock of the week, over the Minnesota Vikings. Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to the Calvin Dean Show, and I will see you guys next week. Don't forget to listen to my Fantasy Football Roundup Saturday. Every single Saturday, you're in the fantasy football. I have 62 teams. I love it. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Take care. I'll see you guys next week.